Gene Willis from Widen Kennedy.
Hello, everyone. I feel a little bit like a Time Life operator with this headset on, but I was excited about this opportunity to come here because actually I have the time to do it. I'm on my sabbatical from Widen Kennedy. I've been with Widen Kennedy for 8 years, and they actually grant you a little bit of time away after that period of time with the agency. But for those who aren't familiar with Widen Kennedy, it's a Portland-based international full-service ad agency, and we deal with some pretty sizable clients. For the last 30 years, we've been working with Nike and a few others, and I've had the opportunity to work on some of those others, including Nike, but Starbucks, Google, and currently I'm the group account director on both Coca-Cola and Diet Coke. And I included just one image, or a couple of images here. That's the inside of the agency, which is it's reflective of just a bit of the maze and labyrinth that is the office and its physical space. But I thought it was also appropriate because it reflects a bit of the mobile space right now and how we're trying to navigate it. And then the next slide was just a couple of images I grabbed. One is on the left. It's actually a compilation of push pins. It's and as you can read, it says "fail harder," and it's one of those Widenisms that Dan Widen just firmly believes in. That you have to be willing to really experiment and fail, and that sort of principle, I think, is really applying itself in the mobile space. And then the other one was actually just a quick screen grab I got off of Instagram that someone else had taken a photo of that said, "Walk in stupid." And again, I think it's awfully applicable to just walk in without the assumption that you know what's going on in mobile. There's too much to learn and too much of an opportunity. So that's a little bit about me and where I come from.
Gene, if you want to talk a little bit about the evolution of mobile and kind of where we're sitting here.
Well, I think this picture is it's worth a laugh, at least, because if you haven't seen the movie Wall Street, you can at least see by that image that we've come a long ways. And I think it's pretty remarkable as you look at sort of the progression of the hardware itself. You kind of look at the 80s being sort of that brick era, and that device was nearly 3 pounds, and
You said how long it is.
Yeah, 10 inches, but that's without the antenna.
10 inches tall without the antenna.
Wow. And I think that it's testament to the fact that that things are moving pretty quickly. When you look at what happened by the 90s, it had already been transformed into, of course, its pocket size form that made it far more affordable, portable, and yet it was still used primarily for voice, of course. And then you moved from sort of the brick to the candy bar to real feature-based phones. So, of course, when the implementation of cameras, and Nokia was a big purveyor of that, and being able to add other features and really infuse the data into what had previously been effectively just a mobile phone, really was the game changer. I think that was where mobile started to really evolve pretty dramatically. And then, of course, where we are now and moving past features into really this touch phase and the smartphone era, it's a far more intimate and dynamic experience, but one that I don't think anyone can question, the just prominence. I think there's some stat about 70% of the world's population now has a mobile device. And when you think about that, that's teeing us up for some really exciting things. So,
well, you talked about you had another slide. Tyler, can you do the next slide? Gene, put your microphone a little bit.
Okay.
A little bit.
Hear that?
There you go. You had another slide here about how it actually has evolved. Like, how are you seeing the difference here? Which I thought was interesting because each of the panelists sent some examples of some companies that they've worked with and things they've done, and it all seemed to fit into this. Yeah,
I think this was for me and kind of what my discipline is in an ad agency and the clients we work with. This seems to be a common theme across all of our clients and what they're experiencing is there was this linear sort of progression by which consumers were making purchases, and there was this broad awareness, and then there was a consideration, and then there was the sale. And that's transformed, and now it's not that it's gone, but what's happening is there's this entire peripheral of activity that's happening, and actually it's almost a swell and a push up from the bottom where, and mobile deserves the greatest credit for this change, where now there is a degree of awareness that is being fueled, but it's being fueled by other consumers. It's being fueled by communities and networks, and it's really influencing the sort of sequence of consideration, but also the degree of loyalty that people have to brands, and the consideration set is really shifting. There's some examples of that, but the crossroads of that, it then ultimately ends up being the purchase point. And so for that reason, mobile is the real conduit for all of these other points of influence. And so it's all too frequently that our conversations start to gravitate back towards where the opportunities are in mobile for our brands and our clients and their brands. And so I think it's difficult to summarize, right, everything that's happening in the mobile space. But I think as it pertains to consumer purchase behaviors, this dynamic is something we see that's at play just about across brands that are as big as Coca-Cola to smaller niche brands on a local level.